Character building gentlemen, we are live from Southeast High School in Bradenton, Florida. This is SETV, Southeast High School Sports presenting Southeast Seminole basketball. Tonight, the Palmetto Tigers invade the Seminole Nation for Southeast Senior Night. The Noles are currently 7-14 overall coming into tonight's game and 3-6 in district play. I will get back to the intro. We are going to present our nation's colors coming up soon, so I'll be back in a moment. We are back. I am Jackson Gaylor, and I will be describing all the action in tonight's contest. And sitting next to me is my partner, Brett Timmons, and he will be giving you the color commentary. Now, we did a game against Gibbs. The women's team had a good time, had a blast. We secured a W tonight. So back here with you again today, tonight, Coach. So how you doing?
I'm well, man. Trying to bring that mojo magic to this game, the senior night. Saluting the singers on their last game at John Carter Court at Bud's Neighbor Gymnasium.
So we are 1-0, me and you, Coach. So let's see if we can keep that record going. It's going to be a tough one. We played in Palmetto last time we met. Unfortunately, we did fall 81-50. To the Tigers, but tonight, a little bit of things have changed. Our roster has diminished a little bit, but we are back, as you said, on John Carter Court tonight with a pretty good crowd out here for the senior night, as you mentioned. AD Savage, he's been here a lot. Been here the past 3 years on varsity. Played JV his freshman year. We got Aiden Carrington, who just joined this year, who is also a senior. Torian Brooks is as well as a senior, and Rafael Virgo is finally our last senior on the squad. So we got some sentimental value with this game tonight, Coach. What do you look for tonight from our Seminoles?
It being senior night, being an emotional night for both seniors. Guys are starting, as coaches are starting all the seniors, which is a great tribute to those guys. Just controlling the emotions and trying to play their game and not getting too wrapped up in the moment.
It's going to be a good one. We're here, and we're going to be bringing you all the action tonight as we get ready for the tip-off. And it'll go to Palmetto. So, driving down the court, immediately good layup to start off the game. That's number 14, Xavier Washington, and AD Savage will bring it up the court. So, starting off, we got AD Savage, senior, giving it the start. Rafael as well, Aiden Carrington. Good shot from the corner by Torian, just a little bit off. And turning the ball over to Palmetto on the fast break. They lost it, Rafael with the steal. Palmetto gets it back, however. Good defense play by Rafael. AD tried to take it back the other way, but the ball goes out of bounds. So we see Southeast come out with their seniors. Forgot to mention Dimitri Duval, who's also a senior, tonight, and this is his last game in this building. And we went with the all-senior lineup to start out with. Good choice by Coach Watkins, who is at the helm tonight for the Seminoles. Corner 3 by Xavier Washington, just a little bit off. And Torian will take it the other way. Picked up his dribble, gets it to AD around in the corner, and we'll set up offense. Picked up the 3 a little bit too long, and good steal by Torian, and the whistle is blown and play will stop. Southeast will retain possession. So, a little bit eccentric to start off the game. A lot of turnovers. Like you said, it's a very meaningful game, so there's going to be a lot of nerves out there. A little bit of another perspective as Palmetto comes in here trying to spoil our senior night. You've probably been on the other side of that too. How's it like being the away game? The away team coming in here trying to deal with the team that's on their senior night.
Actually, you know what? Playing and coaching, sometimes being the villain is actually more fun than actually being the hero. To be able to hear a crowd that's loud and make it go silent is no better feeling than being able to accomplish that. But one thing I do notice that Palmetto has over this is they have a decided height advantage on us.
Sure.
So that's something that we're going to have to counter, that we may not be able to go down inside with them, but we have to maybe play more of a perimeter game.
As you see, Southeast kind of sticking. We've already taken a couple outside shots tonight, looking to try and strike from distance, as Torian will have it on the wing, give it up to AD. They're kind of running a zone here, Palmetto is, trying to give Southeast kind of a different look, as AD will square up from downtown, a little bit too strong, and Palmetto will come down with the rebound and try to push.
Again, they're long.
Exactly.
So even though they're playing in the zone, they have huge wide wingspans and be able to cover ground.
That almost gave Zorian Gaylor's the bucket right there. Like you said, those long strides almost put it in the basket with the foul, but he'll get 2 shots right here. So as we see, it's a little eccentric. As I mentioned in the beginning, Southeast we have a diminished squad since the last time we brought to you a broadcast. There's been a couple issues with some of the players and whatnot. We're down to 7 active members. Jalen Washington, he's still a part of the team, but suffered an injury against St. Pete Lakewood as the second drops.
That's a huge injury
for Palmetto, and he's injured. He's in a boot on the side, and that's been a tough loss for Southeast. I mean, from at least my experience being in the crowd, Jalen played very hard, especially in the St. Pete Lakewood game, coming up with a lot of effort plays. So Southeast takes a timeout right here. What do you think is going through their minds?
Again, I think Coach Floyd is just trying to get those guys acclimated to the game. For some of these guys, this is probably the most that they've played pretty much all season. Again, this is a new roster, new members to the team, and just trying to get them to settle down. You're only down by 4. Just play solid defense, make consistent shots, and you'll be back in the game.
As we begin to inbound the ball right here. Let's talk about AD. AD Savage, number 4. He's played really great ball over the years. I've had a couple friends that have been on the basketball team as we get a steal or Palmetto gets a steal. However, oh my. That was crazy. I was not prepared for that mentally.
Hey, it happens.
Palmetto goes soaring in for the slam. As you say, the height advantage did not do us any favors right there.
Everyone's laughing at him getting dunked on, but you know what? I give Torian credit. At least he challenged it. He didn't run away from it.
Exactly. That's something Coach Watkins has preached with this team, is giving effort. I know we played a bunch of teams. We played Riverview earlier this year. It was good effort on the contest right there, but the ball eventually goes in. Tigers with an 8-0 lead. But something Coach Watkins has stressed with this team is giving effort and contesting every basket. And I know one of my friends, Aiden, who is on the team right now, as a block for Palmetto sends it out of bounds. It'll stay with Southeast. Has let me know that Coach Watkins has stressed that. We played Riverview with Malachi Weidman over there, who is You see him on social media as Palmetto gets a steal on the fast break and lays it in. Lead up to 10 now. But we faced some tough teams, especially on this schedule, and a lot of teams that have had the height advantage and the length advantage. As you see a near steal right there, gets the ball eventually. Another fast break opportunity. The bucket and the foul right there for Perry Humans. And he'll head to the line to try and make it a three-point play. So Palmetto's came out with a lot of energy tonight. And as you guys heard the reaction from our crowd from that dunk earlier.
Yeah.
That it's still really early. We hadn't kind of woken up yet, Coach. It kind of caught us off guard.
You know, again, obviously, you know, great athlete, great play, not taking anything away from the young man. But
almost gets the putback off the missed free throw, and it will go with Southeast as we see Malik Huggins, your quarterback, checking the game, number 20, as well as Kari Dixon, number 21, in the game now for Southeast, as we see Malik get the ball at the top of the key. Palmetto kind of staying in that zone, as you see both of their defenders try and creep up. 3 shots, a little bit short. It's going to head out of bounds, and it's going to go with the Tigers. So an eventful 4-5 minutes here so far. Southeast down by 12 early. What can Southeast do to try and catch up right here?
Again, just play better defense and have a better shot selection. Again, down low, Palmetto has a decided height advantage on rebounding, so we got to be able to crash the boards and get the ball and actually make Palmetto run with us.
Now Southeast kind of moving themselves into a zone defense as the putback there by number 30, Reese Lyons. But Southeast has switched between man and zone throughout the year depending on their opponent. They're going to go with the 2-3 zone on defense, but now we're back on offense, kind of swinging the ball around on the outside. Look for us to try and attack that perimeter game as well, especially being down early a little bit, trying to catch up. Good cut inside, tries to get the ball to Kari. And we're unable to come up with a rebound, and Palmetto will have it. On the court, AD getting in his grill. And they'll set up offense. Long three-pointer, a little bit short. Palmetto will stay with Palmetto. AD almost goes for the steal, risky play. Jump shot, good. That is number 40, David Burston. And back with Southeast. As Malik drives in, basket won't count. But a good we see good penetration, good explosion, and the ball will stay with Southeast. So I'm sure what coach is going to want to see is his players slow down a little bit. It has been a really quick start for Palmetto, up to a very sizable early lead.
We just need to see the ball go in the basket. And I think once you see the ball go in the basket, I think the buckets will start to come.
And settle in and go from there, as Aiden is now fouled, and he will have the ball taken out. And that is Raphael, who is going to inbound, number 10. Gets it into AD. Malik from downtown. A little too long, and Palmetto
line, just a little too hard.
Outside, good save, good block by Raphael. Ball will get up, Raphael will come with the rebound.
Oh.
Throws it away, a little
too
aggressive. Exactly. Drive inside, foul.
So the thing that we have to do is control our emotions. As you can watch and see what's going on with the dunk, and then now with the certain third being down 16-0. This is where your emotions start to come into play, and you start to stop playing team ball and start doing things on your own. So we gotta come back. Gotta come back to our center.
As the first free throw falls for Burston. But you're exactly right. Southeast needs to keep their composure, stay in the game. Like you said, see the ball fall in the net. and go from there as we kind of get a little opportunity and almost throw it away. And the ball will stay with Southeast. Just see if we can get some points on the board as Malik will take it back as we set up our offense. A D from downtown. A little bit to the left, and Palmetto will take over. Good steal by AD, and there we go. The first bucket drops for Southeast. We got some points on the board for the senior. Palmetto playing that up-tempo offense. We'll stay with them off the back of Raphael, but Palmetto's playing really fast and aggressive to start this game. It's worked out for them. Let's see how Southeast can counter.
And one, the old-fashioned.
And that one just falls down for Reese Lyons. And the foul. The shot, a little short, and Malik will come down with the rebound and try and push. Good hesitation move inside off the glass, and it goes down. Palmetto right back, moving the other way. Good steal by Huggins. And he's going to take the ball behind the back move. Got a little too caught up. And it's going to turn the ball over.
Again, he has to settle down. Like, it's energy. They can't run with us. We're quicker than them.
Right.
However, but what we can't do is get to the point where we're running, but we're missing shots. But we also got to be leery, too, that we can't run up and down the court when we only have a one-man bench.
I think if Southeast looks to try and control the tempo a little bit more, we can try and settle down in that game instead of trying to go 100 miles per hour each possession. We'll see as the Tigers go for a lob off the inbounds pass, and they'll turn it over. So Malik Huggins, that's your quarterback.
Yes.
He wears number 1 for you, right?
He does wear number 1.
And wears number 20 for the basketball team. How have you felt about him this year in his first year under the helm?
I think Malik did a great job for us. Being a sophomore quarterback, playing varsity for his very first time, as well as, the year before he was on a freshman, playing on a JV team. So he has lots of room to grow and improve, as we do as a whole.
And isn't it a little bit of an advantage to have a quarterback start so young, so you're able to grow kind of with him, especially your first year, his first year, kind of see him grow? And I think the same thing for Coach Watkins. I know it's not his first year; he's been around the block, but to kind of be with him and help him grow.
Definitely. I mean, it's growing pains. I mean, you're gonna take the hits, wins on your record, wins and losses, but it's not about the short game, it's the long game. And so you look at what the rate of return is going to be in the next 2 years after you invest that time in them at this critical juncture at this point in time of the athletic career.
As we see the possession change hands a couple before the quarter ends, and that'll do it. The Tigers are up 21-4 after the first quarter. It's kind of in a whirlwind, Coach, to start off the gate. So we'll kind of slow it down. I'll give a little social media promo before we get into what possibly the adjustments could be for Southeast. So make sure you keep up with all of SETV's broadcasts and updates by following us on social media and on our website. Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/SEHS Television for links to all of our live broadcasts and updates on the program. We are also on Instagram at SEHS Television, and there you can find some more behind-the-scenes footage from our students and our program director. Our website is setv.news, and you can find all of our social media links there. Be sure to follow us and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, coming out of that timeout, what do you think Coach Walk is trying to explain to his players? I'm sure he's kind of thinking the same way as you, maybe slow down, settle in. But what do you think is going through the mind of Coach Watkins right now?
Right now, Coach is again saying, guys are down. 21-4. Let's play a zone. Let's get our breath. Again, let's get a couple stops. let our defense transition to our offense and get back in the game. So let's not try to eat all at once.
And there we go. There's a fast break chance with Malik laying it in. And we're the first ones on the board here in the second quarter, making that lead up here a little bit shorter. If we can keep that good defense, as we saw the Tigers tried to penetrate, Southeast trapped them, got the steal, and got out on a break. So if we can see a little more of that here, a little bit more defensive intensity out of Southeast, it'll benefit as the corner three goes in. That's number 20, Mike Hatcher, for the Tigers. Oh, they're trapping Malik. And crafty layup right there. That's just pure athleticism on that finish. But like you said, the height advantage and the length advantage has not been very, very helpful to Southeast's cause. Especially when they come at you and trap like that. Let's see, AD pops a three, banks it in. As AD now has 5 to start this game, if I'm not mistaken. Number 11 from the corner, another three. That corner's hot. Dorian Gaithers has a little defensive lapse for Southeast, leads to the 3 points on the other end. It's kind of the same concept as we talked about during the Gibbs women's game. They only had a couple players. They poured their heart out and put effort into the game, and that's what we need to see out of Southeast. Is AD another three, a little too strong on that one, and Southeast is able to retain. That's Dimitri Duval, passes it inside to AD, tries to lay it in but gets blocked. And now Palmetto will head the other way. Slow Euro step layup by Zorian Gaithers, and he drops in another 2. Lead up now to 22 for the Tigers. As Malik trying to get something going on offense. Gives it up to AD. Yeah, a lot of these players, it's their first year on varsity, as that one almost flips it in even though it doesn't count. The foul on the Tigers, but Malik, believe it or not, it's his first year on varsity. Played on JV last year. Aiden, like I said, this is his first year in competitive basketball. Shout out to him, by the way, an IB student, being able to handle that workload as well as be on the team. I'm sure we could see development in Malik's game based on kind of the mentorship that AD has presumably had, as we see a whistle and the ball will head to the Tigers. But being that veteran guard, what do you think the influence AD's had on Malik's game so far this season?
I think it's, again, just being able to be a steady presence, understanding to get the other people around you involved, not just you getting shots off, but making other people around him better.
As the ball will turn over back to Southeast. As you can kind of hear our cheerleaders chirping through right now. It's great to have them out here as well as this crowd for senior night. Let's see if we can get this game a little bit closer as Malik pops from the corner, a little bit short. And the ball will go to Palmetto as they race down the court. Great defense was played by Torian, but it ends up in another and one. That's the third tonight where the ball is dropped after the foul. It's number 11, Gaithers again. He's been putting on a show so far. Powerful effort for the rebound. The putback goes in. Number 14, Xavier Washington, hit the deck. His teammate came in and put the ball in the hoop. And now Southeast will bring the ball up themselves. Dimitri Duval on the wing. Give it up to AD, who gives it to Huggins. Splits the defense. Tough layup. And he'll get the foul call and head to the line for 2. Now Malik's no slouch. He's pretty athletic himself, as we've mentioned multiple times before on this broadcast. Is that he's a dual sport athlete. Almost put in a really crafty layup as he drops the first free throw. But it's pretty hard when you're going against trees down in the paint to try and fit it in. I was at the St. Pete Lakewood game earlier this year on my birthday as Huggins drops that one in. And they had a 6'10" center. And the first play was a oop. I was like, come on. These guys have to be in college. There's no way. As Palmetto looks to spread the ball around. As Timmons is going to handle the floor general spot right now as they try and set up their offense. Drops inside, mid-range jump shot, good. Puts it right over the top and in as the lead expands for the Palmetto Tigers. Torian out on the floor with AD, Malik Huggins, Dimitri Duval, and Rafael Burgo. That's the lineup out here for the Seminoles. As we try and put some ball movement ourselves, a little mid-range jump shot comes a little bit short. And the Tigers will go on the fast break. Tough layup off for the Tigers, but they retain possession. A quick shot, and Torian will come down with the rebound and push up himself. And inside, good Euro step layup. He'll get a foul and 2 free throws to boot. So a little shout out right here to Coach John Hodder. I mean, he's gotten enough shout outs already, but we just covered the senior night, the very emotional senior night for our women's team right here. It's on YouTube if you've missed it. There's a lot of cool stuff dedicated to Coach Harder on our YouTube page, so be sure to check it out if you have not already. Let's not leave you out of it, Coach. We got some stuff up there for you. We got we got some videos up there for you. We got an interview with you if anyone wants to check that out.
Nobody wants to see that.
That was a good steal by Torian, good effort play. Rafael misses the layup. You gotta want to have that one back. Palmetto will rush the other way and get to themselves. As you saw the frustration on Torian Brooks' face, he'll get a chance back at it. A three, high arching three. It's a little bit off, and Palmetto will look to capitalize on the miss. Drives it inside, looks for the flashy pass, but it sails out of bounds. And you could tell our players are a little bit frustrated out here. I mean, you can see why, down 39-11. You know, we've gotten the ball on the basket a couple times, but it's not what we looked to do here coming into this matchup, obviously. As Duval takes his first shot of the night, goes in. That'll help. Nice little 3 points on the board for the senior. The trap does not work. That's Kahadaran missing on the 3. And the ball will stick with Southeast as the Tigers tried to save it. Very interesting, something I noticed coming out here to watch the game as AD takes a shot. A little too strong. But Coach Watt is in a full suit out here.
Senior night, you know?
Yeah, you got to style out. I noticed the Palmetto coaches were in their tracksuit shirts and their cargos, and I looked over and Coach Watkins is in a full-on suit and tie. The little blue hits on the shirt.
It's a special occasion.
Yeah, exactly.
Dress up for the seniors. Make sure the seniors
I ain't mad at it. There's LJ Hewitt now at the line for the Tigers. With 2:02, just over 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Let's see if Southeast can get a couple points on the board. Is a little miscue there.
White ball.
And it's gonna stay with us. Look to be off of Raphael, but stays with us. And so now Torian Brooks will push the ball up. And we'll see what we can get cracking here on offense. Swings the ball back to AD. He's been in that spot all night long, has not got it to drop. As we expected some nerves to start out tonight, but Southeast, we've had definitely had some opportunities. Some things we can't necessarily control, but we've had some opportunities ourselves and have not been able to capitalize. As we try and trap on defense. That's Caden Kahara on the layup right there. As Savage will drive through, tried to get the up and under play, and will get the foul call. AD's always been that type of grinded outside player. It seems like anytime he comes down the floor, he's on the ground after. That's something I've noticed, and I've always appreciated that type of effort from a player, especially of his size. You know, playing against players that are upwards of 6 foot.
You can't measure the heart.
Exactly. And the first one a little too strong for Savage. Second one up, and still a little bit off on the free throw. Southeast going for a little bit of a trap there in the backcourt. Tried to deflect it. And that's Dimitri Duval picking up the foul, number 11 for Southeast. And now number 10, LJ Hewitt, back to the line for the Tigers. Now you've been in a couple of halftime, adjustment speeches, or trying to get your team, back in it or anything like that. You've been in a couple of those, so please tell me what Coach Watkins is going to say to his team at halftime to try and get them, pumped and ready to go for the second half.
I mean, it's all how you approach this. Success is measured by small steps stacked on top of each other, and you're not going to get back in the game on one play, 3 plays, 4 or 5 big plays. It's consistently doing the things getting back on defense, rebounding, doing those things extraordinarily better than the opponent, but slowly start to chip away at the score.
So the second one does not fall for LJ Hewitt. He's been at the line a couple times tonight. As Huggins tries to get the ball inside, gets it tipped. Good pass inside, and the layup goes down. That's number 32, Anish John, with the layup. As just under a minute to go left in this first half. Almost a steal. It's going to be a foul called on John, number 32. Bumped into Savage right there and got called for the foul. And now Savage, being in the bonus, will head to the line for some free shots. It's the 1-and-1. The first shot goes down. So for those at home who don't know, once a team is in the bonus, they'll shoot 1-and-1s instead of just 2 shots. You see this in college as well. So the first shot is missed as AD hits the second. The opposing team gets a chance to rebound and take it the other way, but if he makes it, he gets the second free throw. So it's basically like an earn-it system, as Huggins with the steal, AD going the other way. A little too strong on the layup. Torian misses the follow, and it's going to be 2 shots for Torian Brooks at the line, number 3. With just over 25 seconds, 26.9 to be exact, left in this first half.
You got to finish. You have to know these key free throws. And it'd be good going to the halftime with some points, a little momentum. Now you can kind of see forward from the trees.
A little bit off there on the free throws, but like you said, Coach, to leave the half with a little extra points on the board, you know, a couple of your shots falling down the stretch is just going to help your confidence coming back out of the half, and look to try and, you know, dig yourself back out of this hole that we made early, as Brooks makes good on the second free throw. As we drive down low. Great catch on that pass to try and corral it. And it's going to go as a foul is called. If I'm not mistaken, 2 more free throws, or 1-on-1 for Rafael Burgo, who was victim to what I think was an over-the-back foul on that last rebound. So we'll see what he can do at the line. And I lied to you guys. It was 2 shots. I knew it all along, but I just wanted to play with you guys. Second shot goes down. With just 20 seconds left in this first half. Southeast goes for a trap and gets a steal. Good defensive sequence, but can't corral it and turn it into points. Pass inside, good little fake. And number 33, Anise John. Only 0.8 seconds left in this first half. We're gonna, what I'm gonna assume, the Tigers are gonna dribble it out.
Yes.
They do, and that'll be the end of the first half. So a little disappointing effort from the Seminoles, but there's always 2 halves to basketball. So that'll be the end of the first half with the Tigers up 45 to our Seminoles 18. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with all of the action. You are watching Southeast Seminole basketball on SETV Sports.
Traffic signs. Traffic signs that we see every day. Traffic signs that protect our children to and from school. But a traffic sign cannot stop a moving vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour. It only takes a split second of distraction, a cell phone, a cup of coffee, to render a traffic sign useless.
And welcome back to Southeast High School in Bradenton, Florida. Sunny Bradenton, Florida, that is, in February, early February. Pretty strange, but we'll get back to it. Southeast High School, SCTV Sports presents Southeast Seminole basketball. We're back for the second half. It's been a little bit of a doozy to start out.
It has been.
Down 45-18. You guys see the score. We see the score. We know the score. It's been rough. It's senior night here. We've seen a lot of our seniors get a lot of good action.
Yes.
But frankly, the Tigers we've been a little bit outmatched by them so far. So
give credit where credit's due. Coach Bellamy, he has a legit squad. I would say at least the smallest person on the team is 5'11". He's got about 5 or 6, 6'4", 6'5", or above athletes, and those guys play well together, and they're operating. They're operating at a high level.
Yes, for sure. We saw a dunk. You guys caught the first half. We saw it caught us off guard. We weren't ready for it. We saw a pretty big slam. We have a lot of people here tonight. A lot of people saw it. You guys saw it. And from that moment on, we have not played our best brand of basketball tonight.
No, we haven't.
Like I said, coming out of the first half, basketball is a game of two halves, so we can always come back. We can always, make it a little bit more interesting down the stretch. Get some baskets and fall. We do have only 18 points in the first half so far. Trying to match that, or at least do better than that in the second half. At least beat our own score. Is something that we could do. I know Coach Watkins is making his adjustments right now. Palmetto has taken the floor. They're warming up for the second half right now. Palmetto, from what I know, is 9-7. They beat us earlier this year. They're ahead on us right now. But on a positive note, I was speaking to Coach Harder, our women's basketball team.
Yes.
No introduction needed. His team is gearing up. They had practice today on this very court for their district play and their upcoming matches. They still have, their upcoming game. I think tomorrow is not their last. They still have another game after that guaranteed, but it's getting down to it.
Yes,
Coach was very proud that his team has amassed 20 wins, especially with the squad that they've put out, for sure. And they're looking to get it rolling in the playoffs for them. So we wish our very best luck to Coach Harder and his squad. But back to the game at hand. We saw Coach Watkins give a little bit of a tribute to our seniors. Let me shout them out one more time. Aiden Carrington, number 0. Torian Brooks, number 3. A.D. Savage, number 4, who's been a veteran on this team for a minute. Rafael Burgo, number 10, and Dimitri Duval, number 11. That is most of our squad. We're also led by sophomore Malik Huggins, number 20. Kari Dixon, number 21. And those of our active members of the roster out tonight. We do have Jalen Washington, who we do wish a speedy recovery. He's in a boot now for an ankle injury that he sustained earlier this year. So little shout out to our guys, especially on our last game here on the home court. So, yeah. I'm interested to see what kind of energy we come out in the second half with. I know a lot of our guys had their heads down. They seem a little frustrated, so I want to see how we come out and the energy we come out to play with here in this second half. What are you looking for, Coach?
Same thing. And you just kind of watch the warm-ups, the two different types of warm-ups that's going on. Palmetto's warm-ups are, the crisp guys are bouncing around, look like the team is fresh, kind of shooting around, kind of, milling around right now. So kind of hard to read their body language to see where they are and how they're going to perform in the second half.
I think one thing that we can do to try and get ourselves back in the game is just have a very, high energy play. We saw that dunk earlier. That was that high energy play for Palmetto. We have a good amount of their people here tonight on the opposite floor. You see that on your screen right back there. But if we can get a high energy play for our fans here, we got a lot of them here tonight. We got the cheerleaders here tonight. We're here recording and bringing it to you. So if we can have one of those high energy plays coming out in this second half, I think we can capitalize on that and try and build some momentum. Basketball is a momentum sport, so we can see if we can get it rolling coming out in this second half as it is about to start. The buzzer rang, and both starters for the second half are headed out to the court right now. So we will see. Palmetto will stay with the ball. They switch baskets. So now Palmetto will head to the left side of us, and we will head our Seminoles to the right. So let's get it started. Second half is underway. Perry-Umis.
Brother on brother right now.
Exactly. They took their picture in the senior night photo to begin the game, and Timmons will take that match right there and get the bucket to start off for the Palmetto Tigers. And Savage will bring the ball up for us. Back to Savage. He liked that corner in the first half.
Yeah, I do.
Decides not to shoot it there. Get it back. Good pump fake. Trying to look around. Swinging the ball around. Malik. Ooh. Oh. Tried to go up and under and then thought better of it. And then the ball got knocked out of bounds. So Southeast possession still. Tough shot from Huggins, and it's off to the right. And the Tigers will take possession up on the fast break. 2-on-1 right here. Unable to get it, but the Tigers get the rebound.
Again, same thing. They have the height down low. And so I wonder what the rebound
differential.
Yeah, between the two.
It seems like, so far we talked about the second half adjustments. It seems like the Tigers just came out a little bit more energized to start the second half, a little bit more effort. One thing that I've noticed about Southeast ball movement tonight, or especially in the second half, as that one goes off for Kari, 14 drives in tough.
Way to give up your body.
Ball. And he'll get the charge, but that one looked not so good heading to the ground. Good thing both of them are okay. But as I was saying, coming out in the second half, it looks like Southeast is very stagnant on offense. Not a lot of movement. There's ball movement is there, but we're not moving ourselves off ball. So we'll see how we manage that coming here on this next possession. See, everyone's on the perimeter. There's not much movement off ball. Huggins tried to take it in. Crowd on the Tiger side calling for a travel. But the ball will stay with Southeast. It's tough to grab a bucket when you're Malik Huggins driving in and you have three people that swarm you going to the basket.
It's going into the land of the Giants like Jack going up the beanstalk.
Great defensive play by Perry-Umis. He's probably one of the shortest kids that they have on their team, and he just jumped up and grabbed that pass right out of the air and sent it back. It's very hard to play against when you're playing against these athletes that Palmetto has on the court. trying to get the corner shot a little too long. But a rebound by Huggins, back out to AD. Back on the corner, back to Huggins. Quick dribbles and give it up. Torian Brooks will give it to AD. Back to Brooks. Back to AD. Shot.
Good shot.
Knocked down from AD Savage. He's our leading scorer tonight. Hit a couple threes, got a couple free throws to go down. And now he's staying in front of Palmetto.
Now he's starting to play. Malik took a
chance right there. Tough layup by number 23, Josh Siplin. And that one falls down. When one of them are falling down, it seems like they all are from Palmetto tonight. They've just been on it. As Palmetto takes a chance on defense and it does not work out. Huggins comes up grabbing that elbow, kind of grimacing a little bit there. Hope he's all right. Allows the backdoor cut, but Southeast plays it well, but then back out to the Tigers. Three-point shot knocked down by number 11, Zorian Gaylor. He's had a really good night tonight. He's been very active on the offensive scoreboard tonight.
No dribble in the corner.
Lucky to get away with it there. Torian Brooks, a three-point shot. That one goes down. Seen a lot more shots hit tonight.
There it is.
And if we're able to get more open shots like we have on the last couple possessions, kind of get that rhythm going. I've definitely seen a lot better, outcome on offense as the foul is called on Southeast. And number 23, Josh Siplin, will go to the line. And a big substitution coming in for the Tigers. Another 5 coming in. Not sure how they're going to work this, seeing as one of their men is at the line.
Well, they'll send 4, and then the one setting for the shooter will wait.
First one goes down for Siplin. As everyone at that scorer's table, except for Arthur Bellamy, comes in.
And he's coming in for the shooter.
And that one goes down, and a timeout is called. Just kidding. It's the second time I've definitely intentionally tried to get the audience tonight. Huggins will pull and give it to AD. He's on the corner, tough three-point shot, just rims out. Palmetto's fast. Layup can't go, putback can't go, and Palmetto, and Southeast rather, will look to try and capitalize. Savage out on the corner, gets the ball tipped. Didn't go out of bounds. Palmetto will look to capitalize, and a foul is called on Torian Brooks. And now David Burston, number 40, will head to the free throw line now, as he collided with him as he went to go block the shot. So a 30-point deficit as Burston looks to make it more. The first shot bouncing in. The rim has been a little bit more gracious to the Tigers tonight, I feel like. Where we've had a lot of free throws that have bounced around and then bounced out, and the Tigers have had the opposite happen for them. Ties up for the second one. That one off the front rim and out.
Good rebound.
Savage will push. Brooks gives it back to Savage. Huggins gives it to Carrington. Now to Savage. And back to Huggins. Southeast is moving the ball around the perimeter, but not a lot of movement inside.
Bad pass.
It just gets very stagnant.
Kickball.
Kickball violation. You see frustration on Malik Huggins' face. Although the ball will stay with the Seminoles. And Brooks will pass it in. Dangerous pass right there, almost picked off by the Tigers. We're just now under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Bad pass.
The passes need to be crisp and sharp. They're too long for soft, lazy passes.
Exactly, as Torian Brooks is right there for the rebound but can't convert. And the Tigers will come up with it. AD almost gets the steal, but it will retain with the Tigers. Alley-oop layup that time for Palmetto. It's number 40, David Burston, converting on the sweet pass. But like you said, a lot of lazy passes here to start off. Miller pass inside to Carrington, back out to Brooks. Off the backboard and off for Torian. And now the Palmetto Tigers will look to advance.
Oh, bad pass.
Bad pass. Savage running the other way. Fancy layup does not go down, and Brooks lost it. Turnover. On the way, good pass inside. Unable to corral it, though. Pump fake inside, good layup by LaJonte Wester. And now the Seminoles will look to answer. Three-pointer by Huggins is no good.
I want to say we hit the running clock.
Exactly, the rule is 30, 35?
Yes, 35? We hit 35.
And now we are at that mark, so a running clock from here on out unless we can close that gap, or is it 35?
No, I think
once
you hit 35, it doesn't stop running, no matter if you keep scoring or not.
Great insight from our coach, Brett Timmons, as a long pass goes to Malik Huggins, who lays it in. It's almost like you can do color and be the referee in the booth.
No.
Wear many hats.
You're giving me too much. You're giving me too much.
As the Seminoles look to, as Malik slips, loses the ball.
Again, like what you're looking for again is, as you got an alley-oop dunk, it's how we finish. You know, it's how we finish.
As the Tigers bench is loving it. Seminoles not so much. And Brooks is going to look to try and make something happen. Layup inside, goes down to Torian Brooks, the senior. As Malik Huggins knocks the ball loose, goes out of bounds. And that will be the end of the third quarter with the Tigers up 33 points, 63-30. And Coach Watkins will look to have a little bit more time with his players and adjust, as I would like to proudly announce that Kaiser University of Sarasota is once again a business partner of SCTV. This is the 14th year that Kaiser has supported this television production program of Southeast High School. At Kaiser University's Sarasota campus, you can get the training you need to pursue a new career in the fields of business, criminal justice, education, healthcare, information technology, law, and much, much more. They offer associate, bachelor's, and graduate degree programs, and their Sarasota campus also offers a culinary arts and a baking and pastry program.
Wow, that sounds pretty awesome.
You can find out more about what Kaiser has to offer simply by going to their website at kaiseruniversity.edu. It'd be nice if we had them cater a couple pastries for us when we're in the booth, but alas, we will be fine. So now Southeast will inbound the ball. And I think we're just going to look to try and close out this game on a good note.
Yes.
As Malik Huggins shot a little too long. Brooks came up with a rebound, and now we're looking to try and make something out of this possession. Southeast has not made the little things convert as a good steal by the Tigers. Number 42, Juanique Underwood with the layup. Wanted something more after that, but alas gets the two. But I think Southeast has not made the little things count. The second chance points, the fast break points. if we're able to convert on those, it might be a little bit closer on the scoreboard. But Palmetto, you got to give credit to Palmetto. They played really phenomenal defense tonight in that zone that they've been playing. So Malik will take a long three. Rims out. AG will get it. Drive inside. Foot step out of bounds, presumably.
I think it's a foul.
The ref pointed to the ground. I'm gonna blame the refs on that one. So the ball will stay with Southeast. Foul was called, and we'll look to inbound. Now another whistle blown. And we're gonna get another inbound from Southeast. As you hear again from our wonderful cheerleading squad right over there. They've been in a multitude of games throughout the season. I mean, they're at every football game.
They are.
They're out here just trying to pump up the fans, you know, give us a little extra something to cheer about.
Give them a little, you know, gotta give them a little love. Try to pump up the spirit.
Exactly. That's something that's great about Southeast, that we do have some ways that we do keep our school spirit alive. I know a lot of, in the recent years in just high schools across America, school spirit is not as, you know, overarchingly big as it was before. But
why do you think that?
Well, I mean, not to point any fingers, but I know that, you know, with I think the more like, especially in just like Manatee County and whatnot, that's just what I've experienced. But as a really tough layup goes down for Palmetto. But I feel like you know, we have to look at the student body, where we don't necessarily get into it. A lot of people have their own things going on, whether they have a busy lifestyle or they have their own job or whatever. But I feel like we've kind of gotten away from, you know, the school spirit and you know what it's really about. And I know me and you have had a lot of conversations about that,
right?
Especially, you know, talking about the football team and trying to get a lot of people more, you know, hyped up and ready for the games. I know we do our pep rally here to get ready for, you know, homecoming, and that's great. We still, you know, do prom as every high school does, but I feel like we, you know, the student body needs to take a little bit more initiative in trying to, you know, take it on our backs and show, you know, support for our teams, because no matter what sport, whether it's basketball, as a crafty layup goes in for AD, even though it didn't count. But whether it's basketball or whether it's the football team or it's the tennis team or the golf team or anything like that, just showing a little bit more, you know, awareness and a little bit more like passion for our student athletes, because they really do put a lot on their plates with school. And as Torian Brooks tries to save it, stepped out of bounds, and Palmetto will take it, but just take a little bit more, you know, initiative to, you know, show some support to our student athletes, because they do, you know, a lot. They put a lot on their plate.
I agree.
As you can see, it's let's see what time it is. It's 8:52 on a school night. You know, a lot of these kids, as AD puts it in, but as a lot of these kids, you know, they have homework and they have, you know, a couple of them may have jobs. And as I mentioned, Aiden Carrington, he's an IB student, so he's in the most advanced classes. As AD is a little bit too strong right there, but they still decide to, you know, participate in these activities. And I think we should, you know, as a whole, tip our cap a little bit lower to these kids, because they really do a lot.
I agree. I say this is the best that your school has to offer at this sport, that they represent every person from the custodial workers to administration. So when they step on the court, on the field, or whatever field that they participate in, we're saying that this is the best that we have to offer and that they represent us. And so therefore we should be able to come out and support them with all our might.
I think I know, at least on the as the shot goes off, but with just over 2 minutes remaining in this game. But I know on the morning announcements, we try our best to inform everybody about it, about whether it's student athletes or it's students competing in, say, an FFA competition or speech and debate. We try our best to give credit to where credit is due, to announce some of the best in those clubs and what they competed in, as the follow does not go through and Southeast will push. But I feel like we, the students, need to put a little bit more stuff on our back and show a little bit more support for our kids.
Well, you being a senior, what would you tell your younger self if you were coming back to high school? What would you tell your younger self?
Now, I do give myself a little bit of an excuse because most of the time with games, we're filming them and whatnot, but especially when I was a freshman, sophomore, because we don't necessarily have the opportunity to film all the games. There's always a lot of away games. I know we do one football away game, and we try to do that every year as Malik hits the first. But, I should have gone to a lot more games because I know I've only really gone to one football game and sat as a spectator. I've been to a lot of football games, but sat as a spectator, paid the money which goes back to our, our school.
Yes.
And I'm glad that this year I've at least been able to go to a couple boys games, a couple girls games, and be able to, contribute at least in my senior year. But especially early on, I wish I would have gone to a lot more things. I wish I would have, jumped at a club right away, because with TV, I wasn't in TV until like January, February. I wish I was in earlier on that year to get that experience. But all in all, I've tried to make up for it this year as AD's shot goes off. But I would say to anyone, an underclassman or anything like that, try to go to as much stuff as you can, as the Tigers will dribble this one out and cap off their victory. But final note on that conversation, as Torian will get the steal, almost banks it in, as that'll be his last shot on this court.
Yes.
A lot of good effort there, but to cap up our conversation as the final score hits, just go to more things, show some more support for your student athletes. As, for example, these seniors that have put in their work, and this is their last game. Unfortunately, we do fall 69-33 to the Palmetto Tigers, but we put forth an effort all season long, and I think it's very to be congratulated, especially Aiden Carrington, Torian Brooks, A.D. Savage, Rafael Burgo, Dimitri Duval, those seniors who unfortunately will not play another game on this court, professionally, but, all these kids, it's really great to come out and see our student athletes, play at their highest level. So
it is. I mean, although the score is not what we wanted, it's building blocks. In everything, there's a lesson to be learned. Now, what we learn from it is up to Coach Watkins and the rest of the boys to be able to take this lesson and apply it moving forward
the next year and years beyond. So the final score is 69-33. Wasn't our like best outcome that could come through, but senior night, that was senior night, as coach is dapping up someone else. If you guys watched the Gibbs game we did, he knows everybody. Just that again at home. Coming up, what we were talking about earlier with all of our sports, we have this is our last basketball broadcast for the year. We'll be back next year, but we have softball and baseball coming up, those broadcasts. So if you're not going to the game, tune in with SETV. We'll have those for you.
You had a great Coach Collis doing the play-by-play.
So he'll be there for you, bringing the game to you. We'll try and give our best coverage of the game for anyone at home, if you're, like I said, not at the game. So it's been a great time with you. We got to do a women's game. We got to do a men's game.
Men's game. Yeah.
Our record's 1-1, but we're at 500 at least.
We are.
We're at 500.
I can live with that.
Exactly.
I can live with that.
So
can you live with that? You see yourself on TV?
There we go. So You're watching Seminole basketball on SETV Sports. I'm Jackson Gaylor.
Coach Timmons.
And we'll see you again next time. Have a great night, and we'll see you.